Welcome my good smelling friends, Ify here with the newest release from the Club de Nuit Man line. This one is going to be called Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir. It's funny how Armaf decided to continue with the Urban Man flanker, knowing that Urban Man, the original, was the worst Club de Nuit fragrance ever released by Armaf. But like with most flankers with these Middle Eastern houses, this one will have nothing to do with the original Urban Man. Well, except for the bottle, which has kept the see-through design from the original Urban Man, but this time, it's a bit darker. This is the lid of the Club de Nuit Intense Man, and it has 2 diamonds over here on the lid. The Urban Man has 1, 2, 3. So they added 1 more diamond on the lid because that's what it needed. More diamonds. I personally would love to see this bottle without these flashy looking things on it, without this ugly coin and chain on the bottle, just the Armaf logo and this bottle design, this solid bottle design, which I personally like. The box has this camel looking design, another diamond over here, and this creed-like leaflet that they started adding in the box. Okay, so what does this smell like? Well, this one is not a new cologne. This is an Armaf mix, like they did with Le Parfait, where they combined Creed Aventus with Creed Green Irish Tweed, or like Armaf Club de Nuit Sillage, where they used Ambroxan, and they created a new tweaked version of their own Armaf Derby Clubhouse Blanche. It smells mainly of Dior Sauvage, but more fruity, more sweet. Very nice actually. So I'm not getting like a pineapple sweetness or an obvious note of fruit, but it's definitely a fruity sweetness. I'm also getting the sharp, heavy bergamot that they used in Club de Nuit Intense Man. And also from Club de Nuit Intense Man, there's a bit of that birch, which gives the fragrance a bit of smokiness. So I'm not really getting Creed Aventus with Urban Man Elixir. I'm getting some of Club de Nuit Intense Man. Why am I saying this, considering that Club de Nuit Intense Man is a clone of Aventus? Because that sharp bergamot and that birch are some of the things that make Club de Nuit Intense Man different from the original Creed Aventus. So I would say Urban Man Elixir has about 70% the smell of Dior Sauvage. It has a bit of the Club de Nuit Intense Man, and in the very dry down, the more this fragrance goes into the base notes, it starts having this syrupy, slightly smoky sweetness that reminds me a bit of Initio Oud for Greatness. I'm saying Initio Oud for Greatness, and I'm not saying Baccarat Rouge because to me Baccarat Rouge is not smoky. It has that syrupy, sugary sweetness, but it's not smoky. This one still keeps a bit of that birchy smokiness in the dry down, in the base notes. It will get a slight similarity with Initio's Oud for Greatness. So I wouldn't say this is combined out of 3 clones or 3 popular smells. I would say that this is mainly a clone of Dior Sauvage mixed with some elements from Club de Nuit Intense Man, just a bit, and also a bit of similarity with Initio Oud for Greatness, but not necessarily going to be a clone of that fragrance. So as a whole, this is a more sweet Dior Sauvage and slightly smoky with a syrupy, sugary sweetness in the dry down, which if you think about, Dior Sauvage Elixir also has, but it's not a clone. It doesn't smell similar to Dior Sauvage Elixir. So were they trying to go for Dior Sauvage Elixir and they didn't actually manage to recreate the same smell and they were satisfied with this? Or were they just trying to tweak their old Dior Sauvage DNA that they also had with Armaf Ventana, and they were trying to create a more modern, more mass-appealing fragrance, which I would have to agree that they pretty much did, because a more sweet Dior Sauvage, more slightly smoky, which will make it a bit more interesting. this is definitely going to be a mass appealing fragrance. Performance is also very good. This is an eau de parfum concentration. It's not going to be a heavy projector like Club de Nuit Intense Man is, but still projects very well, very good. So longevity 8 to 10 hours easily. The projection 2 hours, very good projection. So I think Armaf with these releases, they're trying to get to people that are after strong fragrances and compliments. They're not actually trying to get more clones. I think they're a bit behind with releasing new clones compared to the other brands like Lattafa. So now I think they might try to separate themselves from the other brands that are making clones by taking the DNAs of the clones that they already had and tweaking them, trying to make them better and trying to create something original. I wouldn't say this one is an original fragrance, but it's definitely a different take on Dior Sauvage, which I think many people will appreciate. So this was my review and my take on Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir. If you have smelled this fragrance, leave a comment below and let us know how do you perceive this fragrance. There's a lot of ambroxan in it, and I know many people will perceive it differently. Leave a comment below, it will help not just me, but everyone watching this video. And of course, until the new video, keep smelling great.